Hello and welcome to the arbitration conversation. So in this conversation, it's going to be a lot of fun because we're going to talk about cyber arbitration, which of course is something near and dear to my heart. But we're talking to a real leader in the area, super full of energy, really nice person as well, Wendy Gonzales. Wendy Gonzales, she's the founder of Cyberarb, so I'm excited to hear about that. She's Spanish qualified, multilingual lawyer. She also has been litigation counsel for ASUS and has been involved in Cyberarb, as well as mentoring students with the Moot International Viz competition for commercial arbitration, international arbitration, which I think is a really awesome thing as well. So Wendy, first of all, I just wanted to thank you. There's a lot more in your bio to share, but I just want to get right into it and asking you questions. So thank you for taking time with us.
Yeah, thanks to you, Amy, for the invitation.
Well, so first of all, I guess I would like to hear about how did you come to found Cyberarb? How did you get there? What was your journey?
Yeah, so let's say that working nowadays for a technology company, the fact that I've been in the technology sector as a legal expert since already a few years, what happened is that when you are in-house, and especially in my case, responsible for all the disputes, litigation, arbitrations going on for a multinational on technology, we have to deal with external lawyers, we have cases, and everything starts because during the pandemic, I got one message from one lawyer from a very big firm, a law firm, telling me, yeah, we can put all those files on this cloud. And then I was like, okay, this is not how it should be. We should encrypt it. We should have some cybersecurity measures, right? Because this is kind of intrinsic for us, dealing with all this cybersecurity around in a technology company. And that's how everything started. Then I had this really nice conversation with Sophie. We were on that same month, we were drafting a blog, which is already published. And we had this conversation with Sophie, and we know that she's really into technology. Sophie Nappert is our mentor, and she's the one who empowered us to go further and said, this is a great idea, promoting cybersecurity in international arbitration. Go ahead, I'm here next to you. And that's how everything starts. So we were like just a couple of people, and now the team is growing and growing. It's still a volunteering initiative, but we are so passionate about the topic that we are just, hours and hours doing this.
Well, and it's brilliant. I mean, the truth is, of course, I read your blog, and that's why I wanted to talk to you because it's just brilliant. So for those that didn't read the blog, could you explain what exactly is CyberArb?
Yes, so Cyberarb is an initiative that is willing to create awareness about the importance of cybersecurity in international arbitration. And we want to go one step further, which is creating practical guidance, practical steps that we can use on our daily operations. So what we are doing so far is creating material, like publications, blogs, which is like a way to have already something available for everyone. But we are also doing workshops, very dynamic sessions. We already had a few, and we can say that it's very interesting to make this type of complex topics for us tech people, make it in a very simple way that everyone can understand, and on a very, question answer dynamic. So we did it, and it's really working. And yeah, this is what we are doing, basically collaborating with different institutions, organizations, and trying to set up these workshops awareness around. Yeah.
So important. I mean, yeah, I agree. It's kind of funny when, especially with the pandemic, OARB, online arbitration, became the go-to for dispute resolution. The problem is cybersecurity, and people weren't thinking about encryption and how to keep different documents and information safe. So I guess I do ask you, and as part of your initiative and what you've been doing, what would you recommend for somebody just starting out, right? An arbitrator in the international realm, just starting to think about the best way to provide security around document exchange, for example?
Yeah, this is, for example, one of the things we did on our workshops. To be honest, cybersecurity measures are many. It's difficult to compile everything on a very simple, let's say, pack. However, we need to understand that cybersecurity is basically a set of measures, like logistically, administrative, physically, like the device itself. And all those measures we need to apply at all levels to protect the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the data. And I try to explain this as imagining that cybersecurity is like a house. So you have a house and you need to protect everything, not only the main door. So not only the arbitrator is responsible, not only the, I don't know, the garden, like the law firm is responsible. No, you need to protect everything. Every level in the house should be protected. So what you can do, and it's one of the few tips that we already share in our workshops, is to first make sure that if you are working from home, like many of us, basically working from home, make sure that you have a secure network. If you are at home, you don't have the same digital infrastructure than basically others, offices, buildings. So you need to, for example, have a VPN. This is like, it's like a filter for you to go into the network. Another thing, if you want to exchange data, you need to remember that everything that is out there on the cloud could be easily hacked, easily accessible. And we are just behind. So there are so many hacker attacks already. And not only, you know, general business, but also they happen in arbitration. So there are a few cases already in international arbitration. So when you start sharing documents, sharing files, try to encrypt it. And every computer nowadays can help you. It's very simple. You go to your provider and you get it encrypted. So these small tips is just a way for you to understand that we need to work on a secure way. If we are working from home, even in the office, all these good practices is something that we are trying to promote. There are many, many, many others, but we are just trying to promote them on a very simple way so people can understand.
Right. Well, and I assume also as part of this, and I like the metaphor of the house, I think it's very helpful. But also I assume you have to look at what type of information is involved. I know one of the main things we talk about with different ethical practices around cybersecurity as well is sort of assessing the type of information, right? And some type of information needs extra protection, right, than others. You might even go so far as blockchain. Is there any discussion of blockchain within Cyberarb?
Yeah, basically, let's say that Cyberarb is just the starting point where we are meeting all our cybersecurity concerns, but it's a topic that can be really connected to others like blockchain, like artificial intelligence. Just to give you an example, nowadays, what we know as national cybersecurity, what countries and forces are doing is using artificial intelligence to track dangers, to track potential threats. So this is something that is now already happening. Artificial intelligence is used, softwares are used, but in arbitration, I think we are just trying to start the conversation, and we are open. We are really open to collaborate with others, other organizations, institutions, and go further, because it's just the starting. I mean, the moment we are now, it's we call it like, it's nowadays worldwide we are having this fourth industrial revolution. Like everything is 4.0 nowadays.
Right.
And what is happening now is that we are in the arbitration 4.0, which means that everything can be done online. And the great example are the virtual hearings. So the moment we put a full industry like arbitration online, that's the moment we need to start being more serious about this topic. And as you said, data is crucial. And we already know in Europe, we are having breakfast, dinner, and lunch with GDPR. So we know that data is one of the topics to consider.
Yep, absolutely. Well, and actually they're even in the US because everything's international now. And so kind of everyone has to abide by GDPR now because of the international nature of commerce these days. Absolutely. Well, gosh, Wendy, this is fantastic. I look forward to this conversation continuing. I know we're going to have a part 2 on this topic in Cyberarb, which I'm looking forward to. And you and I'm looking forward to keeping in contact because this is really important work, and I'm really glad that you're out at the forefront. So thank you. Thank you for taking time, and thank you for your attention to this matter.
Thanks to you, Amy, for inviting us. And I can only say that this is a team effort. We have Sofina Pert as our guardian angel, mentor, empowering us, but we also have a great team of people next to us willing to promote this topic. So also a big thanks to them, to all of them who are on board on Cyberarb and really making a change. I think this is going to be a change.
Well, listen, thank you, and have a really great rest of your day.
Yeah, you too. Thank you, Amy.